Hello students, today we will take up the third unit of your syllabus, which is on nitrogen containing organic compounds. So let us start with the presentation. So first of all, what are nitro compounds? So nitro compounds means organic compounds which have nitrogen and two oxygen containing functional group. Now, there are two kinds of nitrogen containing functional group. One could be nitro, that is NO2, or other could be amine or its derivative like NH2. So in nitro compounds, mostly the functional group is NO2 and it is involved in various reactions. Okay, so now it is of two types. Nitro compounds are of two types. It could be aliphatic nitro compound where the nitro group is attached to an aliphatic carbon, or it could be a aromatic. It could be an aromatic nitro compound where the nitro functional group is attached to a benzene ring. Let us see first what is aliphatic. So aliphatic means the nitro functional group NO2 is attached to an alkyl group like CH3NO2. So that is nitromethane. Now these nitro compounds, they are weakly acidic in nature. Why, I will tell you later on. So because of the presence of azonitro group and because they are weakly acid, so they are also soluble in alkalis or bases and they give salts on reaction with them. Now the aromatic nitro compounds, when the nitro group is attached to a benzene ring, it is called as aromatic nitro compounds. All the aromatic nitro compounds are yellow colored and when they come in contact with oxygen or air, they turn dark brown. Like I told, NO2 group, it is the nitro functional group. Now it is an electron withdrawing group. Why? Because it has got two oxygen atoms. So because of the electron withdrawing nature, it exhibits minus I or inductive effect and also resonance effect. Now if we see the nomenclature, what is done is that one hydrogen of the aliphatic or the aromatic compound, it is replaced by the NO2 group and accordingly the name is given. So it is prefixed as nitro. Now, general formula, if you see the formula is like CNO, NO2. So the carbon which is attached to the NO2, it is called the alpha carbon and the nitrogen is given over here. Like I told, nitro compounds are named by prefixing the nitro with the root alkane name. For example, this is nitromethane or nitro, 2-nitropropane. Now, there are various methods of preparation. We will take up each one of them one by one. First is direct nitration of alkanes. So for direct nitration, we use a nitrating mixture, which is nothing but a mixture of two concentrated acids. One is concentrated HNO3 nitric acid and the other is concentrated sulfuric acid. So when these two strong acids, they are mixed together, it becomes nitrating mixture. It is fuming nitric acid and concentrated H2SO4 and it reacts with alkanes to give an NO2 functional group. NO2 plus group it gives and this NO2 group replaces one of the hydrogens of the alkanes and we get a nitroalkane. Now there are two ways of doing it. We can do it in the liquid phase also or in the vapor phase also. When we do this reaction in the vapor phase, the reaction requires a higher temperature like 423 to 698 Kelvin. And what is done? Nitric acid adds in such a way that HONO2, the OH part of the nitric acid adds and it takes away the one hydrogen from the alkane. So this is kind of dehydration and the NO2 group is inserted in the alkane chain. Now, the smaller members, there is no issue, but with the larger members, like the higher members, higher alkanes like propane, what happens is that we get a mixture of products, mixture of nitroalkanes. So propane, when reacts at this temperature with the nitrating mixture, it could give nitroethane and a mixture of nitroethane and nitromethane, or it could give nitropropane or 2-nitropropane. So mixture of nitroalkane is obtained. Now, when the same reaction is done in the liquid phase, the reaction requires lower temperature. So we don't need to go till 700 Kelvin. We can go around 400 Kelvin, but it requires pressure conditions. So high pressure and 400 degrees Kelvin, 413 Kelvin temperature is required. And this kind of reaction, it actually gives a large number of polynitro. So instead of only one hydrogen, there are many, like multiple hydrogens, 2 or 3, all the 3 hydrogens also of the alpha carbon may get replaced by the NO2 group. So it gives polynitro compounds, the liquid phase nitration. But this reaction is also slower. Then the other method is from alkyl halides. So what is done basically, alkyl halide is basically, it is a byproduct. So when haloalkanes, they are treated with silver nitride, then silver halide or silver iodide, in this case it gets precipitated and the NO2 group is inserted in the alkyl group. It gets substituted by the halogen atom. So the halogen atom gets basically substituted by the NO2 group. Okay, the same thing is given. Now, instead of, the problem with this reaction is that the alkyl chlorides, they react very slowly. Hence, mostly the alkyl, bromide or alkyl iodides mostly are used in this reaction. The other way of doing this reaction is using some other nitride, like sodium or potassium nitrate can also be used, but just the difference is that they need a solvent for this reaction, that is DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide. And so when we can react the alkyl bromide or alkyl iodide with sodium nitride or potassium nitride, then in this solvent DMSO, then we get the respective nitroalkanes. Third method is from the salts of alpha halogen carboxylic acid. So alpha halogen carboxylic acid means the carboxylic acid where the alpha halogen, alpha carbon has one hydrogen replaced by a halogen atom. But salt of this carboxylic, so instead of COOH, the compound will have COONA or K. So when this reacts with the sodium nitride, what happens? Firstly, NaCl molecule, one NaCl molecule gets removed and we get an intermediate, which on hydrolysis, for the hydrolysis, it gives the nitroalkane and sodium bicarbonate as the byproduct. The fourth method is from tertiary amines. So tertiary amines, when they get oxidized in presence of a strong oxidizing agent like KMNO4, it gives tertiary nitroalkanes. Same reaction is given over here. So the thing is that with this reaction, we can get only tertiary nitro compounds. Then the next method is from alpha nitroalkanes. So alpha nitroalkanes means alkenes, sorry. So alpha nitroalkane means alkene where the alpha hydrogen is replaced by a nitro group. So the lower members, they when hydrolyzed means they are broken down from the double bond C double bond C in presence of H2O. So the H2O will break the C double bond C such that one oxygen H2O, oxygen of the H2O, it will go to one side and the other H2 part will go to the other side of the double bond. So this is what is happening. It is a very recent method. So when one nitropropene reacts, like it is hydrolyzed, then it gives aldehyde and alkane, nitroalkane. Similarly, when we use a substituted one, like in case of the, like instead of hydrogen, there is another alkyl group. So like 2-methyl, 1-nitropropene, then the double bond cleaves such that the oxygen atom adds to the carbon and sorry, and we get a ketone or acetone. So the byproduct will either be an aldehyde or a ketone. The next reaction is from oximes. Oximes, we know, we have studied in the first chapter also aldehyde ketones. So aldehyde ketones, when condensed with ammonia derivative, that is NH2OH, hydroxylamine, it gives C double bond NOH, which is oxime. So when such oximes, be it aldoxime or ketoxime, when they react with an oxidizing agent like trifluoroperoxyacetic acid, then what happens is that the oxygen atom, provided by the oxidizing agent, it adds on the nitrogen, C double bond N, nitrogen, and then rearrangement happens and we get a nitroalkane. So when we use aldoxime, we get a primary nitroalkane. When we use a ketoxime, we get a secondary nitroalkane. Let us see some of the properties. So first we will see the physical properties. So like I told, the aliphatic members are mostly gaseous. The higher members be liquids. Aromatic compounds, they are yellow colored and this turns to brown with time when it comes in contact with air or oxygen, and they are polar in nature because of the presence of nitro group, NO2 group. Then let us see what kind of isomerism is present. So see, isomerism, there are 4 kinds of isomerism which is found in nitro compounds. One is chain isomerism. So when the main chain to which the NO2 group is attached, so the position of the NO2 group remains same, but the chain changes. So the formula will be same, molecular formula will be same, just that the kind of chain, be it straight chain or it could be branched chain. So when there is change in the chain, the carbon chain, then it is called as chain isomerism. When there is change in the position of the nitrofunctional group, NO2 functional group, in one example, like in one compound, it will be at the in the corner, and in the other one, for example, this nitropropane is given. So there is one nitropropane and two nitropropane. So when the NO2 group is attached to the first carbon, it is NO2. When it is attached to the second carbon, it is 2-nitropropane. So this is position, change in position of the functional group. So there is position isomerism. Then functional group. So the property, one of the property of nitro compounds is that the NO2, we know that the compound is, the functional group is NO2. So there are two possibilities. Either the NO2 group gets attached with the alkyl or the carbon of the alkyl or the aryl group, such that the nitrogen of the NO2 group attaches with it, with the carbon, or then it becomes a nitro compound. Or it is also a possibility that one of the oxygen attaches with the carbon and not the nitrogen. So there is oxygen between it acts as a bridge between the carbon and nitrogen. So when the part of the functional group which is attached, that decides what kind of functional group it will be. So when NO2 group, the nitrogen of the NO2 group attaches, it becomes a nitroalkane. But when oxygen attaches, it becomes nitrite. So this is called as functional group isomerism. The last one is isomerism in nitro compounds. The last isomerism in nitro compounds is tautomerism. It is very important because this is the basis for the acidic nature, the weakly acidic nature of the nitroalkanes. How come? See, the NO2 group, it exhibits tautomerism, like ketoenol tautomerism. So there is hydrogen atom in the nitro form. The hydrogen atom, it is like intact. It is with the carbon only, and the NO2 group is itself like that only. In the acid form or the acid nitro form, we call it. What happens? The alpha hydrogen, you see the hydrogens which are attached to the carbon which is next to the functional group, that is which is next to the NO2 group. So out of these two hydrogens, one hydrogen goes to one of the oxygen atoms of the NO2. So it becomes one oxygen functional group, NO becomes NOH, and there is double bond between carbon and hydrogen. So this form is called acid form. Because of this form, it exhibits acidic nature. Same is shown over here. Because of this acidic nature, because of this tautomerism behavior, because of this isomerism, the nitro compounds are weakly acidic in nature. And because they are weakly acid, so they react with bases and they give salts. And similarly, because NO2 group has two oxygen functional groups, so they can be reduced also to hydrogens. So NO2 can be reduced to NH2 using acidic or basic medium. Now we will see what are the reactions of nitroalkanes. So the first reaction, so there are many reactions. There is reduction, hydrolysis, halogenation, reaction with nitrous acid, or condensation with aldehydes and ketones. We will take up each one of them one by one. So first is the reduction of aliphatic nitrogen. Simply like I told, NO2 group can be replaced to simply NH2. There is no difference in the other part of the chain. So for this we need a reducing agent, which is tin HCl, SnHCl. This is a very common method used for reduction of nitro to amino groups. Then the aliphatic nitro, it can also be reduced to, instead of NH2, it can also be reduced to NaOH, that is hydroxylamine, when we use diborane. And it can also be reduced to oxime when we use SnCl2. So using different different reducing agents, we can get different products from the same nitroalkane. Then the aromatic nitro compound, if you see the same reaction, nitrobenzene, it can be reduced to aniline using SN10HCl. But if we use, it is called as Raney nickel, which is basically zinc ammonium chloride mixture, and NO2, it can be reduced, NO2 attached to the benzene ring. When it gets reduced to NaOH, we use different reagent other than the aliphatic. So for aliphatic, we needed diborane, but for the same reaction in case of aryl derivative or the aromatic nitro compound, here we are requiring a different catalyst. Okay, so now we will see what kind of reductions is happening. So when NO2 it reacts in presence of tin and concentrated HCl or iron and concentrated HCl, we get amine, primary amine. This is the reaction in acidic medium. When we use a neutral medium, then we use then we will need a different reagent. So we use zinc dust and ammonium chloride. Then we get a product which is hydroxylamine. So using the same reagent but different conditions, acidic or basic or neutral conditions, we will get different products, because in different conditions we will also use different reagents. So this you have to remember, that when we use tin HCl, that means HCl is used, that means it is an acidic condition, then we get aniline or sorry, a primary amine. Or if we use a alkali or neutral medium but an ammonium salt, then we get hydroxylamine. The other hydrogenation, simply if you want to convert nitroalkane to amino compound, then you can also do it, which is called as catalytic hydrogenation, simply hydrogenation of the O2 NO2 group, that is in presence of nickel platinum. So that is called as catalytic hydrogenation. Second one is hydrolysis. So hydrolysis means when these primary nitroalkanes, they are boiled in HCl or H2SO4, like in concentrated acid, they undergo hydrolysis to give corresponding carboxylic acid and NH2OH, that is hydroxylamine. Secondary amines, when they react, secondary nitroalkanes, when they are reacted with HCl, they form ketones. So primary nitroalkanes give carboxylic acid and NH2OH. Secondary nitroalkane gives ketones and nitrous acid. N2 or H2, that is basically HUNO, that is nitrous acid. And tertiary nitroalkanes, they are usually unaffected. So they don't react at all. Like now, the primary and secondary nitroalkanes, that means those who have at least 1 or 2 alpha hydrogen, they also exhibit tautomerism. So one is the nitroform and the other is isonitroform. Like I just told, nitro and nitrite. So this is the same. Then a very important reaction is Neff carbonyl synthesis. It is called Neff because it was given by Neff, a scientist called Neff. So what is this reaction? It is basically the acid hydrolysis. That is 50% H2SO4 is used of the acid form. So the acidic form, the azonitro form of the nitro compounds, and it gives primary or secondary nitroalkane. The primary or secondary nitroalkane reacts in its acidic form, the azonitro form, and it gives aldehydes or ketones respectively. So if the primary form is used, primary nitroalkane is used, it gives aldehyde. If secondary nitroalkane is used, it gives ketone. The next part is halogenation. So primary and secondary nitroalkanes, they are readily halogenated with chlorine or bromine. Now what happens is that the alpha hydrogens get replaced by the halogen. So more the number of halogens, alpha hydrogens present, more will be the extent of halogenation. So if there is 2 alpha hydrogens, then 2 times this reaction will happen. If there is only 1, then once it will happen. So in case of primary nitroalkanes, because there are 2 alpha hydrogens present, so it will give mono halogenated and then dihalogenated derivative. But with secondary nitroalkanes, there is only 1 hydrogen atom present, so only 1 time it can be replaced. It will give mono derivative only. But since tertiary nitroalkanes, they don't have any alpha hydrogen left, so they will not react at all. Then next is very important, that's the reaction with HONO, nitrous acid. So see, different reactions give different products. Okay, so in general, what happens is that primary nitroalkane, when they react, they form a blue colored nitroso, nitroalkane, which then dissolves in NaOH to give a red. So first it gives blue solution, then it gives red solution. Secondary nitroalkane, what happens is that the first step is fine. It gives the blue solution, but then later on it cannot react because it doesn't have any more alpha hydrogen to react further. So it does not react further with NaOH. So with primary nitroalkane, it first reacts with it first gives blue color, then red color. But secondary, it will give only blue color. When NaOH is added, it will not give any red color. Tertiary, because they don't have any alpha hydrogen, so they will not react only. So that is why this test is very important to distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary nitroalkanes. The next one is condensation with, this is probably the last reaction also, condensation with aldehydes and ketones. So Like again, primary and secondary nitroalkane, because they have alpha hydrogen, that is why they are capable to react, to give this reaction. They undergo condensation of the aldehydes or ketones in presence of KOH. So what happens is that the condensation means there is removal of an H2O. So H, okay, so the aldehyde or ketone, it will give its oxygen atom, and the H2 group will come from the nitroalkane part, and then we get an intermediate, and finally we get a nitro, like a condensation product. So this intermediate product which is obtained, it gets heat, when it is heated, it gives the unsaturated nitro compound. The last part is about the uses of nitro compounds. So they are used as, you know, intermediates in preparation of many amino compounds and many diazonium salts also. And they are the nitrobenzene, you know, it is very commonly used in shoes and floor polishes. It is also used in paints, solvents, and it is also used to prepare, like I told in the first point, azo dyes. And it is also used in the preparation of paracetamol. So student, that's all from this for this lecture. Thank you.